Hello and welcome to an all-new KSAT Money Q&A. I'm Ivan Herrera, and today I'm joined by Vee Weir with Vee Frugal Fox, an inclusive online brand for those who are paying down debt, saving money, and working toward their best financial lives. Vee, thank you so much for joining me once again.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here talking about money as always.
Definitely, definitely. So today on the KSAT Money Q&A, we're going to be talking about side hustles. But first, for those who may have missed our last interview, can you share a little bit about your background in personal finance?
Yeah, really quickly. So in 2016, I decided that I didn't want to live paycheck to paycheck. So I embarked on a debt free journey. And that was when I found out that my student loans were coming out of the grace period and I couldn't afford medication, food, and the loan payment. And that's kind of what kicked off my passion for personal finance. So I paid off a bunch of debt and I started a business in the personal finance space. And now all day I talk about money.
That's a pretty dream job.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, side hustles, give me an overview of side hustles and how they can be beneficial to the everyday person.
Yeah, so side hustles are anything extra that you didn't really count on apart from your 9 to 5. So it's either something you do before you go to your traditional career or after, your job or on the weekends and filling in time, stuff like that. So I also think that side hustles can be working extra at your job. So maybe it's not completely separate from your job, but it's just extra money that you make that's not a traditional career.
Definitely. So, some of us might think of side hustles or second jobs in the traditional sense, like making jewelry and selling it or working as like an assistant part time. But I feel like there's so much more to that now. Tell me about some traditional type side hustles and those that are maybe geared towards the gig economy and people who might not have a lot of time, but they definitely need the cash.
Right. So it's easiest to start where you are. So, like I said, working extra hours at your job, picking up something that you already have the format in place. You already have that platform that you go to and do your thing. So it's easier to start there. I think a lot of people kind of get into the side hustle world starting with that. After you either don't have the option to work extra hours at your job, take the skills that you have at your job and see if you can apply it to other people. Apply for a part-time job. If you're an assistant somewhere 9 to 5, be a part-time assistant, be a virtual assistant. So those are kind of the more traditional jobs other than getting a side hustle or part-time job at like a pizzeria or getting a second job at a place like that. And I would say holiday retailer jobs also fall into the traditional category. When Target always has that mass hiring right before Thanksgiving, that's another side hustle. But non traditional, more gig economy, which is kind of where I focus my attention, is like dog sitting. Virtual assistants is one, transcribing is another one, tutoring online is another one. There are so many options. Ubering, Instacart, there's something that can be done, it's usually in a gig economy job and you can probably make money from it.
Yeah, and I think that we've definitely heard about a lot of these jobs. Like you said, Uber, Lyft, Wag,
Mhm,
any of those jobs are really easy and accessible to just grab onto. But I know
mhm.
that there's some people who have children or maybe elderly family members that they have to take care of. How do you think somebody can find the balance between having a job and a side hustle? And what are some things you would suggest to get organized just to make both work?
Yeah, I would definitely say be realistic about your circumstance. If you do have other obligations and responsibilities, you might not be able to have a part-time job that's traditional, like at Target with a set schedule, things like that. So you're going to want to look at a more flexible schedule. I think scheduling and mental health are probably the two things that people look at very closely before they decide to dedicate time to a side hustle. If you are already overloaded and you're mentally just maxed out, I really wouldn't recommend picking up another side hustle. I would try to make what you're already doing more lucrative. But if you do have the time and the space and the mental capacity, look at flexibility. Uber, you can have 30-minute slots, I believe. Rover, you pick the jobs that you want. Kind of target a side hustle that is going to fit into your life instead of you trying to just jam it in there. It's not going to work. You're going to be stressed out and you're probably going to drop the side hustle.
Yeah, definitely. And that's some great advice. Now, sometimes it feels like there's a lot of these jobs accessibles. You see Uber, Lyft, like you just said, Rover. But where can people find to, like, let's say, is there like a marketplace or anything that people can find like an abundance of these like side hustles where people can go and find these types of jobs? And are there any places that are more like off the beaten path that maybe we don't think of off the top of our heads?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of my favorite new platforms to kind of look for odd jobs is Nextdoor. There are people on there that need debris taken away, that need their lawn mowed, just extra weird things around the house. Hop on your neighborhood. It is very easy to make money, especially if you have the tools like a lawnmower and a truck that can just take away things. So that's a very good option. Next door, I would have never thought, but I just moved into a new home and got on next door, and I'm like, oh, there are actually a lot of opportunities here. Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Buy Nothing groups. You can pick up furniture for free on Facebook Buy Nothing groups and refurbish the furniture or repaint the furniture. It's just kind of being creative. And then, of course, you have my Instagram platform at Vee Frugal Fox. I always talk about side hustles and I always share creators who their main topic is side hustles. My main topic isn't just about side hustles, but there are creators out there that that's all they post about is online job boards and gig economy jobs. So, yeah, I mean, pick up your phone, Google, Instagram, Facebook, all those things are full of opportunity.
I like what you said about Nextdoor because I really don't get on Nextdoor, but I've been getting a lot of notifications, and those are some of the jobs that I've actually
Yeah.
seen. Definitely lawn mowing, picking up grass clippings, and they
Mhm.
might not be jobs just for like adults, but I've even seen like some like teenagers who or their parents are saying like, hey, my teenager needs a job to just for the summer or something. And so I love that you said that
Yeah.
neighborhood app. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for answering all my questions. I know you have a new podcast that just came out for Fox sakes. For Fox sake. Congratulations on that and any other projects that you have coming up. Now, if people want to find you about your and learn more about your story and follow your work, where can they do that?
Yeah, thank you so much. I am very thrilled to have launched my new podcast for Fox sake. It's on all of the podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple, Audible, all the things. So please look that up. It's going to be a really good time. I'm very excited to finally have a different platform to share all of my knowledge. But if you want to learn about that or anything that I'm doing, Instagram is probably the best place for me. It's at Frugal Fox. I also have a website. I'm on X or Twitter or whatever we're calling it nowadays. Threads, TikTok. I'm the most reachable person. So please follow me and learn more about personal finance.
Vee Weir with Vee Frugal Fox. Thank you so much for joining me, as always, on this KSAT Money Q&A, and have a wonderful day.
Bye.